Afternoon, everyone. Can you hear this? No? Try now.
Yeah.
Surprise! So is the mic working? No.
Okay.
Okay. Well, try yours.
Can anybody hear me?
It's not on. Testing. Better?
Is this
Okay.
working? No.
We're going to have to turn this up at some point.
Okay.
Anyway, welcome to Norseman Distillery. I am Chef Laura Bonicelli, and I'm here with my partner in crime, Maddie Jensen of Eversharp Kitchen Store. And we are so excited to be here. We are thrilled to see all of you. I see some very familiar faces. Thank you very much. Our program tonight is not a new thing for us. Maddie and I have been doing a version of this. We keep changing the name every year.
Yeah.
Right?
Sounds like COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're super excited about it, and I am in particular because I get all of my knives and gadgets from Eversharp, and I have for years. So I am thrilled to spread the Eversharp love. And Norseman Distillery, I was just working in their kitchen. I hope you're enjoying your appetizers. Bean chos, right? Yeah? Good. Thank you. Kind of crazy looking things, aren't they? We kind of stack everything up and put it on a piece of bread with a toothpick. And the omelet is a very traditional northern Spain thing that I absolutely love serving. So I am Chef Laura Bonicelli, as I said, and I run a company called Bonicelli Cooking Club, which is a teaching entity. And this is Maddie Jensen. And Maddie, tell us about you.
I might steal this one because it's not working.
That one's not working?
No.
Okay.
Perfect. I'm Maddie. I'm from across the street at Eversharp. We're a family-owned kitchen store, so we mostly do cutlery. We sharpen knives. It can be any brand, but we just love educating people, and there's a lot of knives in a very little store.
Tell them a little bit about the silent auction.
Yeah, absolutely. So our silent auction, we got a bunch of great things. Eversharp is donating a 6-piece classic Wusthof set, so that's a great starter set. If you know anybody getting married or just moving into a home, that would be great. We also have like a 3-piece kind of prep set and then a kid's knife. So if you know anybody who's starting to kind of learn to cook, that's a great one for a kid that you trust with a sharp object.
Okay. And my, Kathy will be up in a minute and she can tell you about her items, but my items are pasta class for 6. That's in person in my home. I do this all the time and it is very, very fun. And I think I said that we're making angel hair and
Ravioli
and fettuccine and tortellini, my favorite one. So that's there too, and then also a slot in my next Mindful Mediterranean program, which is a Mediterranean diet how-to. One last thing I want to mention, we are streaming live on YouTube now, so hopefully that's working, and we're not watching the chat, we're just making it available to people that couldn't be here today. And with that, I'd like to introduce Kathy from Norseman Distillery.
I'm going to stay down here.
No, you're not.
Hi, my name is Kathy. I am the front of house manager of Norseman Distillery. Thank you so much for being here. I apologize for people that are suffering from the sunset right now. So what we are providing is a $100 gift card. Some of our most useful or universal bitters, a t-shirt, some other swag, a little bit merch here. That's it, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So Kathy is going to make a drink because we always start with a drink, right?
I'm gonna go on a real big tangent about our bitters.
Do you have to grab something real quick? So, have to grab a glass.
Okay.
Yeah.
So she has to grab something. I'm going to talk a little bit about the bitters before she talks about the bitters. I have never worked with them before, so actually some of the bitters are in the appetizers that you just right now. The lava sauce, which goes with the Spanish food, is with handful bitters.
I need a new cube. It melted.
And in the lava sauce, we actually cook it into the sauce and then finish it off with the bitters. So I use quite a bit and I love them. They are, they're kind of like umami in that they shift, but they don't overwhelm a dish. So, and they have so many of them. So I tried for it and I just bought the cow and I haven't decided what to do with it yet, but I'm thinking in a creme brulee is what I'm thinking today. So, okay, so you're back and I'm leaving.
Okay.
I'm not sure if this mic is working. So this mic is for,
So,
okay, this
Yeah.
is for the room. I'm leaving.
I wasn't here for your full tangent, so if I repeat anything, I apologize.
Oh, no,
Bitters.
No.
So, when people think of bitters, they always think of old fashions or just like classic cocktails, right? And they always get the same like little aromatic bitters. We are taking that to the next level. We have 20 different bitters of varying of different flavors, anything from sweet to savory to spicy. And what's wonderful is that you can use bitters in a cooking setting. And if you think of these rules, right? Bitters, they are good for adding another depth of flavor. They're good for balancing out sweetness. And in a cooking context, they're also good just for adding, combining all the other flavors and the other elements that you have and just kind of creating that bridge, right? So some of the things that I have used personally here at Norseman for our bitters outside of our cocktails is actually creme brulee. We have done a Thai tea creme brulee, and if anyone has ever had Thai tea in general, it's very rich, it's very sweet, it's thick. So what we have used is our higgy bitters in that. And what that adds is it adds a little bit of extra spice to it, some other flavors, cardamom, cinnamon, and it cuts that sweetness and that richness. So you don't get sick of it, right? It's not too sweet. You feel like you're going to go into like overdrive. Other things that are really good to use it for is baking. That's wonderful. So we have like an orange, and we have one of our bitters that has orange. And I've used that along with, again, our higi bitters and used it in a cake. Tastes like carrot cake, no carrots, no seasons in it. So all of that flavor that you get from a carrot cake actually came 100% from the bitters. So yeah, just think of anything you can use for anything if you keep the rule that bitters are used for balancing out sweetness and adding another depth of flavor without having to add other spices. So I am going to be questions.
Can we get the recipe for any of these drinks?
You can keep that and then try to reverse engineer it.
Oh, the cider is fabulous.
Yeah, the cider is actually my own crazy concoction. If I'm a beefy girl, I love beef. I love meats. And I love places where I have to pay one price and eat as much as I want. So Brazilian Steakhouse is like one of my favorite things. So there's one in St. Paul called Bolvino's, and they have this wonderful pineapple that they roast with cinnamon sugar. And I have been so obsessed with that I wanted it in a cocktail form. So it does use our harvest whiskey that I do a brown butter fat washes on, which is another really cool thing to do to elevate your cocktails. A fat wash, what it does, it helps smooth out your spirit and it takes on all the flavors of that fat. So if you were to make like a maple bacon old fashioned, one of the best ways to get that bacon flavor is to fat wash your whiskey and bacon fat. I gotta use both hands now. So yeah, we're gonna be making an old fashioned just because it's the most familiar cocktail that you use the bitters in. We use our aromatic bitters. They just Probably the closest thing that you get for like any generic bitters that you see in stores. So you can technically take this recipe. So we're going to start with 2 ounces of our whiskey. Our harvest whiskey is a blended whiskey it's a mix of just newly made whiskey, and then we mix it with a 6-year-old rye, and I believe we also do 10-year-old bourbon. I forgot my jigger.
Your jigger.
Yes.
Okay.
Can you ask Jazz for a jigger? While I get that, is there any questions in general about bitters or spirits? Go ahead.
Can you explain what a fat wash is?
A fat wash? I mean, in the most simplest term is you're taking that fat, combining all that flavor with your spirit, and it also helps take away some of that that hard biteness that you can get from spirits. So in the application of the cider, we do a brown butter, and it kind of makes the whole cider, because without it, if you were to use regular whiskey, or we just have the cider without any spirit, it's good, it's fine, but the brown butter adds that nice little mouth feel, and it adds that little bit of a smooth roundness to it. So again, we're going to do 2 ounces of our harvest whiskey. In fact, we do make pretty much everything in-house. That's our goal. That's kind of our shtick, as you can say. So this is our Demerara syrup that we make in-house. We're going to do half an ounce of this just because your normal like 1-to-1 ratio for simple syrups, we do a 2-to-1 ratio of sugar. And then, star of the show, our aromatic bitters. We're just going to take about like 5 drops, I'd say. And then we're going to stir, not shake. Not for this kind of thing. Always stir. Is there anyone here that does not like old fashions? I never really liked old fashions.
Anyone who's never had.
Has anyone never had old fashioned? Well, I will fight someone about this statement, but I do genuinely believe that our old fashions that we have here is one of the smoothest that you can get around Minneapolis. It is our #1 most ordered cocktail.
Cool.
I think that's about it, really. Is there any other questions?
Does Laura get to sample that?
Oh, for sure.
Because I actually never have had an old fashioned.
Can you say something about the whiskey that goes into that?
Again, yeah, so this is our harvest whiskey. It's a blend. I don't know the exact ratios. Again, it's about 10-year-old aged bourbon and then 6-year-old aged rye. If you want me to go on a tangent, if you guys are okay, I didn't know this until I started working here. I'm not a big drinker. If you ask me what my favorite thing on the menu is, I will say ginger beer because it's fantastic. But most spirits actually start with vodka. That's like, it's like the mother sauce of spirits, really. So we actually use the vodka as a base, and a lot of the color that comes from your bourbon comes from the barrel that it's stored and aged in. And what happens is they torch the inside of it. Very, very like, it's burnt, right? So you get like a good thick layer of soot and burnt wood. And what happens when you put the spirit in there to age, it creates this natural chemical reaction where it eats away at the inside, and it kind of helps the sugars will also react to that as well. So interesting fact is when you're barrel aging something, right? You can have two different barrels, same batch of vodka. You can barrel it and set it away for the same day, same amount of time, and you will get two completely different smells. They're going to be slightly different. You like it? Pretty smooth, yeah? Yeah.
It's absolutely delicious.
So yeah, on the menus that we place, a lot of those drinks in particular, we definitely have a lot more, do have our bitters. So those are kind of specific cocktails that we use the bitters in that will kind of elevate the cocktails.
This is elevated. Trust me.
Another thing that bitters do is it adds that little bit of extra dryness as well. So if you add too much into a cocktail, it's going to be more dry.
What are your favorite bitters here?
I do use the higgy, and I'm probably pronouncing that wrong.
What did you say?
The huggy. So it's a very similar to like, it has cinnamon, cardamom, star anise. So it's like when you think of, I don't know, in this context, cider. You can even like use eggnog, anything that you would use your spices for like wintry drinks or desserts. That's what would be perfect to use in. I also really like our espresso ones. That's really good to use in tiramisu. Yeah. Would everyone want to try and smell some bitters? So I can go around while Laura does her part.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Please.
it's a good idea.
Thank you. I'll be back on mic. Can I just put your stuff back there?
Absolutely.
Okay. We're just going to do a little switch over here. Okay, so this does work now.
Yep.
You're good. So give us a second to just switch over our little work area. I'm not good at putting this on. I wanted to mention that these, for the people watching on YouTube, are some of the pinchos that we are serving, and Mary's going to grab these and bring them out. But you can see that they are on bread with toothpicks, and they have all kinds of flavors, and mushrooms and zucchini and prosciutto, serrano ham. And then this is a Spanish omelet that we are serving as well with the Bravas sauce. And in the Bravas sauce, I use the campfire bitters. Do you want to go and just set that on the table?
Absolutely.
Okay. And I know that you're getting the other one, and now here comes a new one for you. Oh, they're up here. I thought I was losing my mind. Okay. Okay, so let's start. You ready? So in the Spanish omelet, which is layers and layers and layers of potato bonded with egg and roasted garlic, I did what, almost 10 pounds of potatoes to make those omelets. So take some time, but I have this, which is my favorite mandolin in the world, and I've owned many of them. And that's one of the things that I love about Maddie's store, Eversharp, is that she's always coming up with new things. She's the buyer. So she's out there finding great gadgets. And I used to say that I would never buy gadgets. I just needed a chef's knife. And, well, I'm not of that mind anymore. So, Maddie, you want to explain how this guy
Yeah.
works? Okay.
So one of the benefits you can see, thank you. There's a lot of mandolins out there. Can you hear me? No. What did she do that was special?
I should say, too, that I have a mandolin that sits on a table, and I've always been afraid of it, just because it just doesn't really have a guard, and it's very big. And this one is as sharp, so don't let the cuteness of it
No.
fool you at all, because it's really super sharp. But it's much easier to handle, so I feel much safer using it. Okay, now I'll stop talking if you.
No, I can't get this to work. Okay. It's not lit, but I don't.
So
There you go.
geometry that also like condenser mics and get like pretty close to it.
Can you hear me now? No. Okay, good. All right. You can see I use microphones a lot in my life. So when you look at my mandolins, some like when you think about them, they're those huge things, and those are great. But you're gonna think about, do you actually want to use them every time you're cooking? This takes up like no space, so that's nice, and it's very simple. You can just adjust the thickness from the back, so it's as no-brainer as possible. You always want to use an attachment if you like your fingers, so do that. Just kind of get comfortable with that. With practice, some people don't, but safety is not a bad thing to factor in. But yeah, it's just nice. It takes up a fraction of the space, so I like these a lot better for that reason.
So for me, I like the guard for storing, but I don't use it when I'm actually using it. I wear a glove, which I
Yes,
did not
that's
bring
a good one,
today,
too.
but I'm not going to go way close when we do this. So a glove is sufficient for me, and I use this if I have something flat occasionally, but I usually get frustrated with it. That said, it really protects the blade, and it's very safe when it's in your cabinet. And I also love, not only does this just kind of flips down and stores flat, which is really Dream Farm's
Yes.
thing, is they like flat storage a lot. They also like, I think they must be a group of people that sit around and look at problems with garlic presses and problems with mandolins, like they're too heavy and they're dangerous and they're really hard to clean. So that's one of the reasons. And it has, what, 4 settings? 3
Yeah.
settings? So what I did for the omelet that you're eating was actually on a 2. One is paper thin, and I wanted a little bit of heft to the potatoes, which I pre-cook anyway. So I'll just give you a little,
Yeah.
okay? Can't argue with that, can you? Isn't that amazing? Yeah. Okay, so that's our first one. Okay. I haven't figured out what we're going to do with all this food yet. So the next one, so you gave me this about 6 months ago. I've used it in every cooking class that I've had since, in one fashion or another, and people go nuts. So, and I'll tell you why, because I personally have thrown away at least 5 garlic presses. I've bought them and been hopeful and been so disappointed because they either, it's just more work than actually chopping it, generally speaking, or grating it. But never have I seen one that you can use a clove of garlic with the skin on. I never have seen that.
And actually work.
And it works. And it also flips the skin out. So do you want to do this one or should I?
I'll let you do it.
Okay. She knows I love this so much. Okay, let's get rid of that. Okay, so it goes in here. I don't think I can talk this way. I'm going to just do this silently. Okay, Okay, that's not the cool part. Can you believe that? So it saves so much time. Yeah, all of it. And you know, this, so what the key to this is this little guy here has to snap in place, and it has like little bumps that go into the holes so that when you do the flip, it actually catches it and flips it out. So the only thing I can say is if you're doing, like I do, 20 cloves of garlic at a time often, then you have to rinse it off in between. But for one or two, it's flawless.
Yeah.
And also small cloves of garlic, you can do 2 at a time.
Easily, yeah.
Yeah. So this wins my favorite gadget of the year. You said that they have a plastic version.
They do. So they tend to have like 2 tiers. This is like their higher quality one, and then they have like a light version. Sometimes I don't love the light versions as much. It still works, but I find that it ejects the skin much better on the fuller version.
Okay.
And we'll always, like, we don't carry anything we don't like, but we also let people try things, and we'll help you figure out like the right gadget or knife for you, depending on what you're looking for.
Okay, moving on. Okay, this one, I actually did this on TV earlier this week, and the hosts were just like, what? So this is the best zester I have ever had in my life, and it is actually made for your feet. Not kidding. So the reason it does such a good job, and you have it hanging with the microplane.
Without, yep, all
It's-
the microplanes.
It's microplane. It's about, what, $10?
$10.
Yeah. So I own 5 of them now, just because in my classes, no one wants to share. They want their own. So the reason I love it so much is it's designed to not go into your skin, just on the surface. So it does not go into the pith of your lemon or lime or orange or whatever you're zesting. It stays on top, so you never get that bitterness that you get if you go too far, right? So that's one thing. And then the other thing is, it's all contained here. It's not, and this is when you do your whole lemon, about a little over a tablespoon, depending on the size of the lemon. But it's not all over your countertop. It's not stuck in this. It just pops right out. I just think it's the best.
Yeah. It does make getting the zest out way easier than a lot of the like more narrow zesters out there.
Yeah, that's another thing. Yeah,
And
it
it's
really
a good
covers a
conversation
nice surface.
starter.
Yes, yes. Yeah, so that's my favorite zester in the world. And it comes in different colors, so if you do buy one for your feet, you can tell them apart. So we're going to talk about knives next, but I'm going to just cut this in half. So this is the other thing that I feel I should be on commission for. I'm going to get you a bowl and have you do that.
This is
the
best.
Flusser.
So Flusser, if you've noticed, they have kind of silly names. It's a flat juicer, and so for easier storage. But it is the best juicer I have ever used. You just put it in there, and then this spot here collects the seeds, and it's not hard. I got this for my nephew who's like 6, and he likes to make lemonade. He can do it just fine, and you get so much. Because think about when you're doing it, it gets all of the juice out. And there's not a seed in there. So that was like our first find of theirs, and then it just keeps growing as we like their different gadgets.
There are, I should say, knockoffs of this on Amazon. So the company is Dream Farm, and the only place in the world that you can actually get it is Eversharp Kitchen Store. Exclusive
place.
to them. Yes, it's the only place. Okay, let's get rid of that. All right. So now I want to talk about knives, and these are ones that I purchased, or actually you gave me this one. So this is a Wischhoff, and it's engraved with my logo. So tell us a little bit about this knife.
Yeah. So one, we do engraving on purchases if you like. But this is like probably the most popular knife that we sell, hands down, year after year. It's a Santoku knife. This is the Wusthof Classic. So generally, like a lot of people think of us as the Wusthof store. We have great knives out of Germany and Japan mostly, but just a great lightweight veggies chopping. You can't go wrong with it.
Right. Yeah, I use this. This is probably now my number 2
Yeah.
most used knife.
You've had that a long time.
I have. I have. It's seen a lot. It's been sharpened many
Yeah.
times. And I should say too that your sharpening is wonderful.
Yeah.
I have a whetstone. I used to do it myself. I gave it up just because it's so superior. And I don't really know what I'm doing with a whetstone. I kind of get it close, but when I pick up my knives from Eversharp, they're perfect every time. And I'm going to show you something really miraculous too in a little bit. But this knife, my husband bought for me, and I've been eyeing this for a couple of years. It's way up on the wall, has an olive wood handle. It is also Wusthof. It's their Amici line, so they did it in honor of the Italian countryside, which I think is really beautiful. But what I love about this, it's called a Chidao, right?
Yeah, well, it is. They got weird. They call it now a Santuco, but it is absolutely their Chidao shape.
Okay.
So
the reason I was so attracted to it is that it has the rock of a chef knives, but it also does what a Santuco will do really, really well. So you kind of can play with it for what you're doing. It holds an edge so beautifully. So I love that.
Yeah.
And I brought a serrated knife because I just wanted you to talk about serrated sharpening.
absolutely. So serrated knives don't need to be sharpened near as often as a straight edge knife. So don't, like, some people just bring it in every time. You don't need to do that. Bring it in when you're struggling cutting what your bread or your lemons or whatever.
Well, until I met you, I was told
Yeah.
that they could not be sharpened.
Yes, and a lot of people, and you don't want to sharpen them the same way as a straight edge. So if you do that, you would be really sad, and we do fix that. But generally, we do them kind of serration by serration, and so it's so same day sharpening, $5 for a straight edge, $7 for serrated. And so it's a little different, but still very easy to do, and we definitely do that all the time.
Okay, now let's talk about using a steel.
Yeah, absolutely.
Steels are not sharpeners.
No. They used to call it sometimes even a sharpening steel or like a honing steel. They're getting better about calling it that because that's more accurate. It's not going to take you from dull to sharp, but it's going to help you stay sharp longer. And the trick with any of these, there's so many tools out there. It's finding what works for you. If you ever want a demo or like more hands-on, we're always happy to just show you in the store. Basically, there's a lot of right ways. I hold it like this because if I'm going to hit anything, I'm hitting a cutting board and not Laura or myself. So you can see that easier. But really, the trick with this is just very gentle. You're not pushing hard at all. You're just letting the knife be the weight of it. And you're just alternating sides. We kind of say like a 14 degree or under. Really, you're not going to be exact. Air closer to the steel. And that what it does is if there's a burr, it's helping straighten it out. So don't wait until you're really frustrated. Just keep up on it. And you're just doing it a couple of times. Yes?
How long does that steel last? I mean, you've had one for 10, 20 years.
That's probably, they can still last about that. You're probably getting close to the point. You generally, some steels are different, but you if you run your hand on it and there's some still ribs showing, and you can feel that, it's still got life to it. Professionals tend to will use up a steel. Home chefs, it lasts a surprisingly long time.
Okay, let's move on to ceramics.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, and I brought this. Let's talk about sharpening them first.
Absolutely. So we're actually Kyocera's only authorized sharpener for the country, so we get a lot of mail-in sharpening of ceramics. Ceramics are nice in that they're really lightweight. They're great for lemons, limes. I like them for lighter things. They are more fragile, so we get a lot of blade repairs of those. So you don't want to hit like a pit of something. So at home, don't sharpen a ceramic knife. It's a whole different ballgame. We have like special equipment from Japan to sharpen those. And it's a little different process. We need them overnight and it's $12. But we can accidents happens and we can fix them, but tomatoes, it's really nice. I never would have thought that until we started doing more of their sharpening. And so actually we test every ceramic knife on a tomato because you want them to not just be paper sharp, but they also have to have the right grip to go through a tomato.
That's true, and I use them for tomatoes all the time, and I agree with you. Light, finer cuts work better. Parmesan cheese is a big no-no.
Yeah.
Anything that you are tempted, and I know that people are watching me do exactly this over here, don't use them to unwrap cheese or things. I was just doing that, so I confess.
It happens.
But if you twist it, your knife will snap. And I snapped this one that I actually did months ago, and I haven't opened it up yet because I wanted to save it to show you. So I took the entire tip off because I hid it on a drawer and it just snapped. And so I brought it in and went, can you do something with this? And they could. So this is how you get your knives, by the way, wrapped beautifully.
It's like the butcher shop.
I might get it out of here. Okay, so this had a huge gouge out the top, and this is what they made me. So isn't that exciting that you can, and I have another knife, which I didn't bring today, but in the kitchen, it got a huge nick in it, and like in the blade. And I happened to mention it to you,
Yeah.
and she was like, bring it in, we can fix it. And I was, and I'm talking a $350 knife that was completely junk, and they fixed it, and it was perfect. So, and I think I don't think he charged me.
It's blade repair is $5 and $6. So it's not, unless you did something really crazy, which is like 99 out of 100 times, that's the blade repair cost.
So what is the craziest knife repair reason for the knife repair that you've had to do?
Someone's child took their nice chef's knife outside to cut down their Christmas tree. And that, we were like, okay, it's a good knife, it's worth fixing, but how much metal was off, that became a carving knife. So they still got a knife out of it, but it was no longer a chef's knife. Generally, we say it always looks worse than it is. You probably won't notice. Occasionally, somebody will bring in a knife that you will notice, but it's always, if you like a knife, it's worth fixing. We can repoint a knife if you've used it as a pry bar or your screwdriver. We put a screwdriver next to my grandma's knife set, and she still used her steak knives for a screwdriver, but, you know, we don't judge.
I think during one of our shows, someone was online and said that they used it to try and unlock their car door with their keys inside.
Yeah.
Not good.
No.
Question.
Yeah.
Paring knives. I use paring knives all the time.
Yeah.
And I've yet to find one that I really like, except one that was my grandfather's, and there's barely blade left. You know?
Yes. Yeah. Paring knives have a little shorter lifespan just because of the less material, but yeah, those are comfortable handles.
How do you know how can you get a decent paring knife that you can use for a variety of?
It
You
really
have to just walk across
Yeah.
the street when we're done.
you just have to feel up. It comes down to what's
pretty easy.
comfortable in your hand and what fits to you. So we have different, some people like a little chunkier handle, some people want it to be thinner, but it's such a personal preference thing. But we have lots of different options.
It really is a personal thing because Mark, my husband over there running the camera, he bought me a knife, and it was a shun, and this is before I found you, so I can tell this story. So he bought me a shun knife, and I didn't use it because I was uncomfortable with the length of the blade. I just felt like I was going to slit my wrist accidentally because it was so long. Well, he's much taller and has bigger hands, so then I bought him a knife, and I bought him a knife that he never touches because it's perfect for me. So we basically switched knives because it's such a personal decision. So it's something I would never do online because I live with these things. They are sacred to me. Yeah. So, okay, we have a few other things here that we're going to show you. Do you want to start with this one?
So again, Dream Farm. But they make little egg slicers. So they're trying again, just simple, like not too big of space. But
And I didn't bring you one to peel, just because I forgot to say don't peel all the eggs. This guy, you crack the egg with it, and then it has this device that goes underneath, and gets under the membrane that we always have so much trouble. So once you do that, you can pull the whole shell off, and it does actually work.
Yeah. And I've had people say they bought this also for like avocados. So you can do it with a variety of things, but you just, and that's,
Yeah.
that's, you can pretend you cut that yourself.
Yes. Perfect little things. And then we have this peeler. I'll talk about that.
This is their Sharple. What I like about it is that cover, because I always lose the peeler cover and then I get cut grabbing it in the drawer. But it has a little ceramic ball that helps it stay sharp longer. If you use it a ton, eventually it's going to go dull, but it really does help extend the life of it. But it swivels nicely, so for left or right-handed people, it works. Sometimes peelers are just hard to figure out the right one for you. They don't work as well, or it's like a struggle to do it. And I find kind of everybody can make this work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I was just going to show you one of the things that I do a lot. This is actually a cucumber. So for salads, I do this with zucchini too. So this is my favorite way to do zucchini noodles. But it just does a really nice, and I find I usually replace my peelers once a year.
Mm-hmm.
I've had this for at least 3.
Yeah.
So the ceramic part does actually work.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I do this with zucchini and soak them in salt and add them to pasta. So that's your tip of the day. So you can add twice as much pasta technically. Okay. So, and I use this for cheese too.
Oh, yeah. That works great.
Yeah. You want to just do nice slices for your Caesar salad. Okay. Now, this guy.
Yeah. So this is a cherry pitter where you can put the cherry in and it'll pop out, but it also will help core a tomato. So you just kind of, I've only done them on cherries.
Oh.
Show me. I do it on bags of cherries.
So when I can in the summer and I buy a million tomatoes, this comes in very handy. So I just, but this is really not your fault.
Okay.
It is not ripe. So go in like that and twist it. Voila. So I'm used to the ones that squishing while you're doing it. Okay. So do you want to talk just a little bit? That's all my gadgets that I got from home. Oh, cutting boards. Let's talk about
cutting
those.
boards. Who has seen an ad recently about how good titanium cutting boards are? Yes, we get calls like daily about this now. Not good. That's a great way to dull your knife right away. Same with like glass, cutting on granite, anything that you can't scratch, you're going to dull your knife right away.
I also really dislike those little plastic pad things.
Yeah.
Those dull your knives too, in my opinion.
A little thinner. You just want to have some give. And so we have like wooden cutting boards. Wood is obviously great. It's just a little bit more care. So that hand wash, I mean, you want to hand wash knives, all knives hand wash, but like Epicurean cutting boards, those can go in the dishwasher. So I like that for the ease of, you don't have to think about it. You can use it as a trivet half the time as well. But wood is also great. You just have to oil it. So mineral oil or wood conditioner, hand wash it, and just like think about in the really dry winter, oil it more often than summer. But if you take care of it, those can last you an incredibly long time as well.
Mm-hmm. And the plastic you don't want to use because microplastics.
Yeah.
So they're off the table. The Epicurean was started by
Epicureans up in Superior. They started as making skateboard ramps, and they realized that material actually made a great cutting board. And so now it's grown. It's worldwide company, but we've had them. I have some of those cutting boards like 15 years, and they still hold up really well. Obviously, cutting boards do have a lifespan, but they last a very long time.
And what I love about them is, first of all, they come in many sizes. So this one is my latest one. I call this my tomato board because it has the grooves to catch all of the tomato stuff. But I have little small ones that I use if I'm just slicing something small, all the way up to a big one that has the grooves around the edges. And I mean, they just come in really sizes that are sensitive to your task.
Yeah.
So you never end up with just one. You end
No.
up with a bunch of them. And mine, I've been collecting them for almost 10 years
Yeah.
now. I don't put them in the dishwasher. I have some dishwasher phobias, and that is one of them. But I know many people that
Yeah.
do, and they think I'm nuts. So, this one is again my absolute favorite
Yeah.
one with the grooves, because you can catch that stuff.
Yeah, they make them from like 6x9 all the way to ones that will fit the back of your truck bed for grilling outside. So there's a range.
The back of your truck.
Uh-huh.
Okay. For your food truck.
Yeah, or
Okay.
some, I mean, grilling or something.
Well, I noticed they have a couple back here too.
Yeah.
So they are NSF, which means they're approved for commercial kitchen use, which I did not believe, because wood is definitely not,
Yeah.
right? If so, you're left with plastic, but they are NSF approved.
Yep, absolutely.
So we want to talk briefly about the auction again.
Absolutely. So, do you want to?
Yeah. Norseman has donated an assortment of bitters. I didn't get a look at what they are, but
A lot of good ones.
that really good ones, and some swag, and I believe a $100 gift card. And I have donated a pasta making dinner, I should say. So you get to eat everything or take it home, what you make. And we're going to do 4 types of pasta with a couple of sauces, and it's super fun, super fun. And I also a slot to my Mindful Mediterranean program, and we run that quarterly, and the next one is in April.
Absolutely.
Sorry, could you speak up a little?
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, go like right into it.
Okay.
It's like a cancer in my.
Okay. I'll
Yeah.
try.
And then our sets, we have a great block set, like a starter set, and then a flat set of 3 knives, and then the little kids chef's knife set from Opinel, which is made in France.
Say, could you grab that? I
Yeah.
just want to, this is so smart to, is this any better? It's so smart to buy a child a real knife. Not that I want anyone to get cut, but you have to start somewhere, and this is a really, really good place to start.
So this gives you a proper spot to like hold it, so then your finger is not going to go anywhere that it shouldn't. And then you also have a finger guard. So
you could get used to that pulling your fingers back so that you don't cut your fingers. And also, I mean, Maddie gave me a book a couple of years ago that, and if you can pick this up, if you're into knife skills. It's by Wusthof. It's I can't remember what it's called. I think
Wusthof only has one book. It's
okay,
not.
it's the Wusthof book.
Yeah.
And it shows really comprehensively all of the knife skills that any chef would need, any home cook would need, and in detailed pictures. Is very, very well done. But what I found was interesting. I took a class from someone at Wusthof years ago at a little cooking shop that's not there anymore in Northeast. And the person teaching it from Wusthof basically said you hold your knife with your fingers in front of the bolster, so that you make that knife it's part of your arm, it's part of your hand. It's not something where you're doing this or this, it's here. But in the book, they have different grips for different tasks. Like there's a butcher's grip that's actually backed off.
Okay.
And so I was very surprised by that. But anyway, I love this book, and if I could get more of them, I'd give them to any young person that I know, because it's just such a good place to start. Yes.
Go through what you have in the silent auction, because it was hard to hear you.
Okay. What I have in the silent auction is a pasta dinner for 6, and that's where you make the pasta with me. We use Mercato equipment for most everything that we do, and it's a really fun way to spend 3 or 4 hours, depending on how long the class goes. And then with that, we'll pair it with sauces, and it will be tortellini, it will be ravioli, it will be linguine, and angel hair will be the pastas. It's in my home here in Northeast.
It's really pretty, by the way.
Yeah.
You didn't even make it into the kitchen.
It's stunning. Yeah, it's perfect.
So the house, it was designed for us shooting video. The kitchen has sort of all of the appliances off to the side, so it's kind of a set. So when we decided to do cooking classes, and given that I own an amazing number of dishes and plates and pasta machines. So it's great fun.
Meticulously organized.
Then the other one is slots to my Mindful Mediterranean program. And what Mindful Mediterranean is it's a Mediterranean diet how-to. So we run it quarterly, and it's 4 weeks of materials that we distribute via Zoom and on my website, and tons of recipes and lots of inspiration, I think. And thank you, Jane, for telling me to say that. Thank you. Okay. Okay, I think we're ready to wrap.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, so
Kathy,
you
do you
guys
want to
are,
come back up here?
Yeah.
Just-
we're going to open up the store across the street. If you guys want to stop by, that's also where we'll hand out your 3 free knife sharpening card. You can use that at any time. That does not expire. And no pressure, but if you do want to buy anything today, if you spend $100, it's 10% off. If you spend over $200, it's 20% off. And that can be sale items as well.
And after you do that, then you can come back here and have dinner and a drink
Exactly.
at Norseman and enjoy their beautiful, beautiful dining room. So Kathy, I just brought her back up. I wanted to make sure there weren't any more questions before we sign off. Anybody? Nope, we're all good?
All right.
Okay. Well, you have been great. Thank you so much for being here. And thank you, Eversharp Kitchen
Yeah.
Store and Norseman Distillery for opening the doors. Both of you opening your doors for us. Take care, everybody.
On top.
Thank you.
Absolutely.